Waste of the week, an agency headed by a senator's wife got hundreds of millions of dollars through the $1.7 trillion omnibus package. Joining us this morning with the details is founder and CEO of OpenTheBooks.com, Andrzejewski. Good morning to you, Adam. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday, Jan.
So Senator Joe Manchin's wife's commission received $200 million from that spending bill I'm reading here. That provision was given to the Appalachian Regional Commission. So Gail Manchin heads that commission. So what does that agency do? When was she appointed to it, and how much does she make?
So Gail Manchin makes nearly $170,000 a year, which is about 3 times the median income in the state of West Virginia. Her income rivals that of her husband, U.S. Senator Joe Manchin. Okay, so this agency that she heads up needed Senate confirmation, and she got that obviously because her husband is a United States Senator, so that was no problem. It was actually started in 1965, and it was a project of John F. Kennedy, and it was started for a very good purpose, and that was to bring the economics of Appalachia, one of the poorest areas in the country, up to par with the rest of the country. So it's been around for 57 years, and all of a sudden, hundreds of millions of dollars are pouring into this agency.
Yeah, and she was just appointed back in 2021. This is a $5 million increase, by the way, from last year. What kinds of notable results have we seen in recent years in Appalachia's economic development?
So, Jan, Ronald Reagan said that the best example of eternal life on Earth is a government program. And we actually see this in this commission. Started for a noble cause, but really hasn't made an impact over the course of the last 57 years. There's a scorecard on their website, and their scorecard says that there's 4 counties that have achieved the objective, the economic objective, over the last 57 years. That's 1% of the 423 counties within these 13 states that spans from southern New York to northern Mississippi, a massive geographic area where 26 million people live and work. Okay, so 4% success rate. There's only 10 counties that are on the cusp of being successful. That means about 97% of the counties, they're distressed still, they're at risk still, they're still in a transitional state. Over $15 billion over the last 57 years has been poured into this commission with minimal success.
And now it's getting $200 million. And we have to mention this obviously is not the only instance of federal money given to a family member through the spending bill. You also mentioned Representative Jim Cooper, who helped his brother, the mayor of Nashville. Also Senator Ben Ray Lujan, who has a relative that is the governor of New Mexico. How can we be sure there isn't any kind of quid pro quo in some of these deals?
Well, you can't be sure without transparency. So in the new House Republican rules, they've made it single subject legislation. That'll make these massive 1,000-page bills a lot smaller. They've also instituted what we've advocated for right here on the national desk over the course of the past 2 years, and that's been a read the bill provision to give 72-hour legislative timeout to see what's in it. And when Congress goes back to regular order, you'll have votes on these things in committees and public transparency long before the final vote. Here's the other thing. Joe Manchin, his wife Gail Manchin, they've been a powerful duo ever since she was appointed in 2021. So Joe Manchin, when he helped craft the bipartisan infrastructure bill, doubled the funding, doubled the operational budget of this agency over the course of the next 5 years. Out of that separate 2,000-page piece of legislation, he brought an additional, Jan, $1 billion to the Appalachian Regional Commission, his wife's agency.
Founder and CEO of OpenTheBooks.com, Andrzejewski. We always appreciate your investigations and your reports here. Thanks for joining us. Have a great weekend.
Thank you, Jan.